So we have created department-wise sheets. Like that, we can also create region-wise sheets or branch-wise sheets. Okay, in a similar manner. Now, the next thing is data consolidation. So what we'll do is, let us assume that we have data from 3 sheets, say Jan, Feb, March, and we are going to write a macro which will automatically pick the data from those sheets and consolidate it and put it in a single sheet. We'll also see how to handle the error. The error is that if you have a sheet that is already present, then it is going to generate error, right? That sheet name is already present, give a different name. So we'll also see how to handle that error. The macro should automatically, if the sheet is present, it should automatically delete the data, previous data that is in that, and if the sheet is not present, only then it should be created. We'll see how to handle that. And then we'll also see how to write a cross-application macros. Cross-application macros means, suppose I want to send a mail through Outlook from error, from Excel, then we'll see how to do that. Okay, so we have completed sheet selection, VLOOKUP. We also saw how to create department-wise report. Department-wise sheets, right? Okay. So first to insert 3 sheets. I'm removing all the extra sheets. Insert 3 sheets. You can insert it anywhere. Insert 3 sheets and name them as Jan, Feb, and March. Okay, insert 3 blank sheets and rename them as Jan, Feb, and March. Now we are going to enter some dummy data in these sheets. Now the format is going to remain same for Jan, Feb, and March. So instead of creating the format 3 times, what I'll do is I'll click on the Jan sheet, press Control, click on Feb and March. What this will do is it will create a grouping of the sheets. Okay, and you can also see on the top that it is saying group. That means multiple sheets has been selected. Now the advantage here is that once you select multiple sheets, and if you make changes in any of the sheet, the same will be duplicated in the other sheets also. Okay, so even when I select a group of sheet, you can see that you don't see a border in that Jan sheet. That means that is active sheet. So if I type anything in the active sheet, it will be automatically duplicated in Feb and March also. Okay, so we'll enter some dummy data here. Go to A1 products and then sales, and we'll type some products here. Now this is getting replicated in Feb and March also. Yeah. Enter some random cells. Now the same values will be there in Feb and March also. To remove this grouping, just click on any single sheet and the grouping will be removed. Now this is the data for Jan. Then if I click on Feb, you'll see that the data is same. So we'll make some changes to the Feb values so that when you paste it, when you consolidate it, you know that it is coming from a different sheet. Okay. Even for March, we'll make some changes. So in Jan, I have these values, Feb, and then March. Now, what we are going to do is we are going to write a program which will go to each of the sheets, select the data, and copy and paste it in a single sheet consolidation. Okay. Now I'm going to write this in a new module. You can also do it in a new module, or you can continue in the same modules. So I'll go to insert module. You'll see in my case it is module 5. So I'll rename that. Data multiple sheets. Okay, and the subroutine name I'll give is sub data consolidation. So first what we need to do is we need to add a sheet and then rename the sheet as total sales. So how will you add a sheet? Sheets.add. You can also do it along with me. Then how do you rename it? Active dot name equals, I'll name it as total sales. Now by default, whenever you add a sheet, it will select the cell A1. Okay, A1 will be by default selected, but I'm just making sure that it is still in A1 because due to some other activity, a different cell might be selected. So I'm just making sure that it is always in A1. Now what is the next step? You should go to the Jan sheet. You should select the Jan sheet, and in Jan sheet, you should select the data along with the header, copy it, and paste it in total sales. So let us say this is total sales. And you should paste the data here. Now you see that when you select a range, the starting cell is called as the active cell. So in this case, the active cell is A1. After this, if I go to the Feb data and select it, while selecting the Feb data, I don't want the header again. Now see what happens when I copy it, go to total sales and paste it. You see that it is overwriting it because it will paste always from the active cell. So active cell was A1. So it is pasting the data, it is superimposing the data on Jan. But what should happen is it should paste the data here. The Feb data should be pasted here below the Jan data, right? And the March data should be pasted below the Feb data. So first, once you create a sheet, now I need to go to Jan. Select the Jan sheet, and in Jan sheet, I need to select the range, including the header. Now earlier we had seen that if I want to select the range from A2 to A11, if I want to select the range from A1 to A5, I can use Control Shift down arrow. And how do you select it using the program? You write active cell, from active cell to active cell, end Excel down, dot select. But in this case, I need to select the range like this. I need to go to the right also, right? So for that, after you select the range active cell, you need to write range active cell dot end cell down. Okay. Then again, I need to write active cell dot end Excel to right dot copy. So this will select as well as copy. So what this particular statement will do is it will select the range, Control Shift down arrow, right arrow. Okay, similar to that. But before that, I need to select the active cell. So in my case, the active cell is from A1. Okay. So it will go to the Jan sheet, go to the cell A1, select the cell A1, then active cell dot and Excel down, and to right, it will copy it. It should copy and paste where? It should paste in that total sales. So sheets, total sales, dot select. And how will you paste it? Active sheet dot paste. Now once it is pasted, the Feb data should be pasted after the Jan data, right? It should be pasted in A6. Right now, my active cell is in A1. So how will you come to A6? See, in main data, suppose my cell is in A1, and if I want to add a record, at the end, I told you that there are two methods. Either you press Control down arrow and then come one row down, or you can also go to the end and then go up and then come one row down. Even that you want, right? Go down, then come up, then come one row down. The same thing will use it here also. So for before we paste the Feb data, I'll go to last cell, that is 810 lakh 48,576. Dot select. Now if you are sure that your data is not going to go beyond, let us say 500 rows, you can also write A500 dot select, then active cell dot end Excel up. Okay. Dot end Excel up. Then I want to come one row down. Dot offset 1,0 dot select. Okay. Now just watch on the screen. I'll run it step by step. F8. It is going to add a sheet. Now since my selection is main data, it is going to add a sheet before the main. Okay, I already have a sheet called as total sales. I'll remove that.
Sir, I'm getting error in index down line, the program line, activation.index.
Active cell dot indexer down.
Yeah, I'm getting error.
Just check the brackets and everything.
Yeah, that is what brackets. Here also I find that range, you have opened the bracket. After that you have not closed it, right?
For range, we need to open a bracket. Range, open bracket, active cell dot and excel down, comma active cell dot excel to right dot copy. Range statement will be always given in a bracket, na? See, range a1 dot select.
Okay.
Just check the brackets. See, there are 1, 2, 3. 3 opening brackets. So 1,
Yeah.
2, and 3 closing brackets. Okay.
Okay, sir. Got it.
F8. So this is adding a sheet, naming it as total sales. Then it is going to Jan sheet. Selecting the range, you can see it is getting copied as well. Then going back to total sheet, pasting it. Then it should come down. Then go up. Then come one row down. Okay. So the next time I paste the Feb data, it is going to be pasted in A6 automatically. Fine. Now, for pasting the Feb data, what is going to change is only this active cell. Other statements are going to remain same. So there is no need to write the entire statements again. I'll just copy this, Control C, and paste it. Okay. So this will be for Feb data, for copying Feb data. Only
Sir,
I
can
need
you
to
little bit slow before copying? What is it? Can you
just
undo?
normal copy paste.
Up to active cell dot offset 10, right?
1,0 dot select up to that. Only thing is that for Feb data, I need the range from A2 because I don't want the header. So just make it A2 and all other statements will remain same. And paste the same thing for March also. Normal copy paste, nothing special we are doing here. Just Control C and now see here we are doing the same thing 3 times because we have 3 sheets. Okay. Now there is no need to do that if you have, let us say, 12 months data in a folder. Then there is no need to copy paste the program 12 times. We are copying and pasting it 3 times because we have other sheets also in the workbook. Okay. But if you have 12 months data in a specific folder, then we can also put this in a loop. Let us assume that my first sheet is Jan, second sheet is Feb, third sheet is March, fourth sheet is April. Then I can say for I equal to 1 to 12 and then go to the first sheet, copy the data, then put it over a loop. So in that case, it will be sheets I dot select. Then you copy the data. So when the value of I becomes 1, it will be sheets 1 dot select. Then you copy the range. When you say next I, value of I will be 2, then it will select the second sheet, that is sheets 2 dot select, like that. Okay, you can put it in a loop. So here it will be March. And even in March, we need data only from A2 onwards. So this should copy all the 3 months data. I'll run it step by step, and then I'll copy and paste it in the chat window also. Now if see what happens. Now if I run the program, it is going to give an error because we already have a sheet called as total sales. It is saying runtime error 1004. That name is already taken. Try a different one. Okay. So I need to remove that total sales sheets first. Delete it. So
Actually, I'm getting error, compile error in range A1.
Range A1.
Yeah.
Have you given the codes? Just check your statement.
Invalid use of property.
See, this is a very simple statement. Just check the codes and the brackets.
Okay.
If you can share the screen if you want.
Yeah, I missed the dot select.
So F8, add a sheet, name it as total sales, then go to Jan, select the data, copy it, go to total sales, paste it, go to the end, then go to Feb. In Feb, select only the actual data, then paste it, then select March. In March also, see that data of all the 3 months have been copied and pasted. I'll copy and paste it in the chat. Now, if I run this particular program, it is going to generate the error.
Yeah.
Right?
You said
Because,
that. Hello. Sir, you said
yeah.
that the name is already taken. Try a different one. For that, what you said?
Yeah. We are. That is why we are going to do it now. So I don't want the error. Okay. So one method is before I run the macro, I can delete the sheet and then run it. But I don't want to do that. I want the program to take care of that automatically. So that is called as a error handling process. Now, what I'll do, just understand the logic first. Now there can be only 2 situations. Either the sheet is present or the sheet is not present. If the sheet is not present, only then a sheet called as total sales should be created. And if the sheet is already present, then the previous data should be erased. Right? So what I'll do is, just watch on the screen first. The start itself, I will write on error. Okay, on error, go to a program called as ERR handle. What I'm telling is, I'm telling Excel that whenever an error is generated, don't display the error. Instead of displaying the error, go to a program called as ERR handle. Now this ERR handle, it is again a variable. Now when you write a statement, how do you know which one is a variable or which one is the mandatory keyword? All the keywords or all the statements that are important for the program, that will be always colored in a blue color. So here you can see that sub, that is a mandatory statement. You can't skip it. So that will be in a blue color. But data consolidation is a name that we have given. It can be anything. Okay. So that is in a normal black color. Likewise, on error go to. That is a mandatory word. You can't skip any of that. But ERR handle is black in color. That means it is a variable. I can also write, instead of ERR handle, I can also write it as ABC. It won't make any difference. Only thing that we are telling is that when an error is generated, go to a program called as ABC. Okay, that is the only difference. Now in ERR handle, I'll first remove these two statements, and then where will I write this ERR handle? So ideally, it should be written before the end sub. You can write it anywhere, but ideally, you have to write it before the end sub, because Visual Basic is a structured language. Structured language means you need to follow some specific structures, so that even if you have written a program, and let us say you have written a program for a specific firm, and then you leave that organization. Now the person who is coming in place of you, he is going to read through your program. Suppose he wants to make some changes in the program that you have written, then he needs to understand what you have done, the logic of when you wrote the program. So in that case, if you write it in a structured manner, it will be very easy for the other person to follow the logic that you have used. So that is why whenever you define any variables, it should be at the beginning. Even if you define it in middle of the program is not going to give any error, but there is some structure to be followed. So variables or any error statement, that has to be given in the beginning. ERR handle, that should be before the end sub. Okay, these are some structure that you need to follow. So in the ERR handle, here I will write ERR, the same name. You can write like on error go to ABC, and then here you write ERR handle. That won't work. That is going to give error. Now here I will write sheets dot add, then active sheet name equals the name that I want, total. Okay, then I'll write resume next. Now after I give the error statement, what I'll write is, I'll write sheets total sales dot select. Okay. Now we'll consider the first situation. The first situation is that there is no sheet called as total sales. Okay. Now in this case, when there is no sheet called as total sales, and if I'm trying to select that particular sheet, this is going to generate error, because I'm trying to select a sheet which is not there. So this particular statement, sheets total sales dot select, will generate error. But I'm telling Excel that when error is generated, don't display that error. Instead of that, go to a program called as ERR handle. So it will come to this ERR handle. And what have I written in ERR handle? I am writing add a sheet, rename the sheet as total sales, and when I say resume next, it will go to the next statement from where the error was generated. So it will come to this particular statement, range A1.select. Okay. Let us first run this step by step. Now the first situation is there is no sheet called as total sales. So F8, I am saying on error go to ERR handle. Now this statement is going to generate error. Okay. So it has generated an error and it has gone to that program called as ERR handle. In ERR handle, I am telling it add a sheet, name the sheet as total sales, and when I say resume next, it will automatically go to the next statement from where the error was generated. So it is going to A1, then Jan, copying all the data, and then doing all the process. This is the first situation. Now the second situation is that the total sales sheet will be already present. If it is already present, then what does this particular statement do? If it is already present, it will simply select it, right? But the previous data will be there. So what should happen is, before it pastes the new data, the previous data should be erased. Now how will you erase all the data? You write cells dot clear. This will erase the complete data. Okay. Then I am going to A1, then doing the whole process. Now we'll see both the statement, both the situations again. First is there is no sheet called as total sales. So F8, it has gone to error handle, adding a sheet, naming it as total sales, resume next, then it is doing all the process. Now let us see the second statement, F8, second situation. Now this will simply select because we already have a sheet called as total sales. Then when I say cells.clear, you see all the data has been cleared. But look at the cell position. When the data is getting cleared, it is A6. So I need to go to A1 first. So then all the data copy. But just look at the program here. Once it has pasted the March data, it is going to that ERR handle again, because the program will always follow top to down approach. Okay. But once the data of March has been pasted, I don't want the program to go to that ERR handle. It should go to the ERR handle only if there is an error. So what I can do is I can force the program to come out. So for that I will write exit sub. Okay. So what this will do is, once the March data is pasted, if there is no error, when I say exit a sub, it will automatically come out of the program. So now this should work without any error, any number of times. Okay. So if I delete the total sales sheet, you'll see that it will automatically create it. Okay. And if it is already there, this is going to again do the same process. Now this will not give me any error. I can run it any number of times. Just add these two statements here. On error, You can give any name, error handle or error handling, anything. Okay. Make the changes and run it once. First to run it step by step, then you can also directly run it. Now I also want the total, and the total should be displayed in a dialog box. So in my case, the total should be 713. Okay. Now you don't have your function to sum the values in Visual Basic, but you have a function called as sum in Excel. So we can also call that function sum into Visual Basic. For that, the statement will be a little bit different. Now today my range is from B2 to B13. Now it might happen that tomorrow the range might change. It might be less or it might be more also. So every time I need to sum only these values, right? From the active cell to the end of the active cell, end of that particular range. So like we can define variables, string variables, integer variables. We can also define a range variable. So how do you define a range variable? You write dim RNG. RNG is the variable name. You can also write it as ABC, XYZ, element. It won't make any difference. But what is the data type here? Data type is range. So what I'm doing here is I'm defining a variable called as RNG whose data type is range. Now the range can be a single cell, it can be multiple cells, it can be the whole data also, right? After you have defined a range variable, you need to give the value to that. Now how will you give a value? Use the set statement. So once I copy paste all the data, I'll give the statement range b2.select. Why b2? Because in b2 I have the first sales value. In my sheet, b2 has the first sales value, right? Now the RNG should be from b2 to the end. So here I'll write set. Use the set statement to give a value to the variable. So RNG, set RNG equal to range from where? From active cell to active cell dot end Excel down. So in this case, what will be my RNG? My RNG is going to be from here to here. This will be my RNG. Tomorrow, suppose I have some more values. Say till here. Now what will be the RNG? It will be like this. This will be the RNG. Okay. So the RNG will always change. It is according to the range that is selected. Then I want to sum the value that is in RNG. So for that, we'll define a variable called as T cells. And what should this T cells consist of? Application dot worksheet function. Using the worksheet function, I can call any Excel function into Visual Basic. So application dot worksheet function dot sum, and what should be the range of sum? What was that in the RNG? Now I can also put it in a dialog box. So for that I'll use message box. Total sales is T cells. Okay. Now let us see. I'll run it. So it says the total sales is 713. We can cross check it. You can see fine. I'll copy this entire program in the chat window. This is the whole program. Once it is running fine, just tell me. Working fine. Sagar, Manikandan. Sorry, Vijay.
Sir, yeah. Actually, I'm not exactly worked out. Let me check. I'm checking that.
Okay, fine.
Sir, can you? I just want to know that dim range as a range.
Which one?
Dim range as range.
We are defining a variable called RNG whose data type is range. Now suppose I want to define a variable called as EMP name. So how do I write it? I say dim EMP name EMP name as string. What does this statement do? It will define a variable called as EMP name whose data type is string. So it will accept only string values. Likewise, I am defining a variable called as RNG whose data type is range. So range means it can be a single cell. So I'm selecting if I'm selecting this particular cell, then I can say set RNG equal to E7 or active cell. So RNG will be only E7. But if I select a range like this, even this can be RNG. Even this can be RNG. So range can be anything. Now in this case, I want the total of this particular range. Now suppose my range is going to remain fixed. Always it will be from B2 to B13. It will not change. In that case, I can hard code it. There is no need to use a variable. Variable is used only when you think that the range is going to be different. Today it will be from B2 to B13. Tomorrow it might be from B2 to say G13. So I want to capture all those values in this range. So what I'm doing is I'm defining a variable called as RNG, and what will be the value of RNG? It will be from active cell to active cell dot index data. Because when you define a variable, it is only creating a memory space. It is not putting any value inside that. The set statement will put a value. In the earlier case, how did we put a value in a variable? See, here, did you put a value? You wrote EMP DEPT equal to main cell dot offset 0, 3 dot value. So you are assigning a value here to a variable called as EMP DEPT. Likewise, in this case, we are assigning a value to a range variable. Here we are assigning a value to the range variable called as RNG. Getting?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, so this was about data consolidation. Now the next topic is cross application macros. Now cross application macro means, suppose you want to create a presentation from the data that is in Excel. So we can also write a program which will automatically create a presentation depending on the data that is in the Excel sheet. So you are writing a program, you are controlling another application from Excel. That is why it is called as cross application macros. Now, you know that Visual Basic is called as object-oriented programming language. Visual Basic is called as object oriented programming language. In short, it is called as yeah. Sorry, I didn't get you.
Sir, this is multiple. What is it? Multiple combination of macros. No, sir. It is going to access like other programs also, right?
Yeah, it is not accessing other programs. It is accessing other applications.
Okay.
Okay, Visual Basic is called as a object-oriented programming language. In short, OOP. Now that means what? Everything is defined as an object in Visual Basic. For example, let us say you have a pen. Okay. Now your ball pen, it has a specific length, it has a specific dimension. Okay, it has a ball point to write, and it has a cover on the top, right? Now that is object.
Yeah.
Now this object called as ball pen, it can have different colors. It can have different designs, different styles of the top, the cover, different dimensions. You can also have a ball pen which has multiple refills, right? In a single ball pen, you can have your black color, your red color, your green color. So that is object. Likewise, in Visual Basic, everything is defined as object. The Excel application itself is an object. And after the Excel application, we have workbooks. It is object. Then you have worksheets. Then we have ranges. Then we have cells. So these are all objects. So what you do in Visual Basic is you write programs, you write statements to manipulate the object. When you write sheets.add, you are manipulating that sheet object. You are telling that add one more sheet. When you say sheets active sheet.delete, you are again manipulating it. You are removing one sheet from the collection. Suppose I have 10 sheets. When you say active sheet.delete, it becomes 9. So you are writing a program to manipulate. Now, like you have objects in Excel, we also have objects in Word. We also have objects in PowerPoint. When it comes to Word, the objects might be different. So in that case, it might be the Word application itself. Then instead of workbooks, you will have documents in case of Word, and you will have tables, and then you will have bookmarks. Even that is a object. Likewise, if you take PowerPoint, it will be presentations, slides, shapes. Likewise, we also have objects of Outlook. Now suppose I want to write a program in Excel which will control PowerPoint, then we need to insert the objects of PowerPoint in Excel. Only then you can manipulate the objects of PowerPoint. Likewise, if you are going to write a program which should send a mail through Outlook, then I should insert the objects of Outlook. Right now, your Excel has only Excel objects. Now, like you have Excel app, workbooks, worksheet, these are all objects. All these are objects. Okay. So there can be hundreds of objects, and each object will have some functions and some properties. For example, the sheets, they have some functions. Sheets have some property. When I say sheets.add, you are using a functionality of sheet. When you say sheets.count, you are using a property of the sheet. Okay. So like that, there can be hundreds of functions, hundreds of properties. Now, it is not possible for me to remember all the properties and functions of a particular object. So we have an easier way out. When you're in the Visual Basic editor, if I want to see all the objects that is going to be used in Excel, there is something called as a object browser. Now, how will you display the object browser? When you're in the Visual Basic editor, you press the function key F2. The moment you press F2, you will get a interface like this. This is called as a object browser. You can also see on the top here, it has written object browser. Okay. Now, suppose I want to see what are the functions and what are the properties of the sheet object. What I'll do is, here in the field, I'll just type sheets and press enter. So this will automatically display all the areas where the sheets can be displayed. So I can scroll down and select the sheet object, and you can see on the here on the left hand side, you get all the sheet objects here. Okay. Now I see that I have selected the object called as sheets on the left hand side window. When I select it, on the right hand side, you can see something called as members of sheets. Now here you can see many options here. Add, copy, delete. Now this add, copy, delete, in front of that, we'll see there is a green icon. Now the green icon means it is called as a method or function. Okay, because your physical action on the it will be when you write sheets.add, what you are doing is you are adding a sheet, you are adding an object. So you are doing some physical action. So all these methods or functions will be displayed with a green icon. You'll also notice that there is a hand symbol. So whatever is displayed with a hand icon, that is called as a property. When you say sheets.count, you are accessing a property of that particular object. Okay, you are not doing any physical action. You are just trying to get the number of sheets that is present in the workbook. So anything with a hand symbol, with a pointing hand symbol, is called as a property, and anything with a green icon is called as a method. Now, the best way to learn about Visual Basic is, suppose I want to see what is the syntax for adding a sheet. So one method is, you come to this Visual Basic editor, you select this add, and then you press F1. The moment you press F1, it will take you to the Visual Basic site, where it will show with examples what is the syntax for adding a sheet. So here you can see that if I want to add a sheet, the syntax is .add. Expression is the object name. So it will be sheets.add. And if I scroll down, it will give me some examples also. See, sheets.add. You don't have to write this active workbook, because by default, you are going to add a sheet, that workgroup is going to be active. Okay, so you don't have to explicitly write sheets.add. So this is one method. You go to their site and check the syntax. That is one method. The other method is you just record it. Now suppose I want to see what is the syntax for adding a sheet. What I'll do is I'll just start the recording. Then do the action of adding a sheet, that is Shift F11. Then stop the recording. Then look at the statement that is generated when the recording was done. So if I go to that module, it will say for adding a sheet, it is just sheets.add. So in this manner, we can learn a lot about macros. Okay, just record it, or you go to the object browser and you look at the sheet. So now what we'll write a statement. We'll write a program for sending a mail. So like I told you earlier, we need to insert the objects of Outlook first. Okay, so we'll write it in a new module here. So I'll go to insert module. So module file, I will name it as macro. And the subroutine name, I'll give it as sub send mail. Now to insert the objects of a different application in Excel, you click on Tools. When you're in the Visual Basic Editor, click on Tools. You can also do it along with me. Click on Tools, References, Tools, References. Now you'll notice here that the option called as Microsoft Excel 16.0 Object Library is checked. So that contains all the objects. That contains all the objects. Just a minute. There is somebody at the door. So I'm back. So here you can see that when you check this Microsoft Excel 16.0 object library, it is going to insert all the objects that is in Excel. Likewise, we should also have something called as Microsoft Outlook 16.0 object library. Now this value that you see here, 16.0, it depends on the version that you are using. If you are using Excel 2013, it will be Microsoft Excel 12.0. If you are using, say, Excel 2016, it will be Excel 15.0 object library. So it depends on the version that you are using. So in my case, it is 16.0. So I need to go to the option called as Microsoft Outlook 16.0 object library. Now you can see that there are many options here, right? So what I'll do is I'll just press M. The moment I press M, it will go to all the options starting with M. Then I can scroll down. It is in an ascending manner. and check Microsoft Outlook 16.0.
I have a doubt. So this has multiple available references.
Right.
All this can be taken care, or only Microsoft will belongs to the Visual?
No. It depends. Now, for example, here you can see, but it is compatible, very much compatible with Microsoft applications. But if you go here, you can also, I think, see Google Gmail objects also. But I think you need to add an add-in for that.
There is AutoCAD.
Microsoft. Yeah, even for AutoCAD. If it is installed in your system, it will show for AutoCAD also.
And again, Adobe Reader also, right?
Right. Adobe Reader, I think it should be already there. Active Movie, AP Client. But you will get the option from the net also. These are called as DLL files. So if you check for DLL files, that can be put in that system 32. You can see that location here. Microsoft Outlook 16.0 program files, Microsoft Office, root Office 16, and it is called as OLB. So you have different files for the objects. For Adobe, it might be Adobe Reader.olb, something like that. So that has to be installed in your root. Then it will come in this list also. You can control Gmail. You can control even,
Adobe. If it is not installed also, it will come, or how?
By default, it should come if you have already installed it. But if it is not there,
for example, for example, this AutoCAD or Adobe, if it is a standard version, it will have references in VBA, or while installing only it will come here.
No, you need to install it first.
Okay.
For PDF, I think. Let me check. See, TeamViewer, it is already there. For TeamViewer, it has the object. Then so what you can do is, once you install that, you can just cross-check it whether it is coming here. Else you can put it in this root, and it will come in the list also.
Fine, sir. Okay.
So we need to check Microsoft Outlook. Microsoft Outlook 16.0 object library. Then you click on OK. Now, I told you earlier that we can also define range variable. Likewise, before I use the objects of Outlook, I need to call that Outlook application inside Visual Basic. And for that, we'll define some variables. I'll write dim outtab. Outtab is again a variable as Outlook application. Now, if I did not go to tools, references, and check that Outlook 16.0 object library, this statement will give me an error. Okay. I'm defining one variable called as outtab. Data type is the Outlook application. I'm calling the entire Outlook application in a variable. Then I want to send a mail. So I'm defining one more variable called as outmail, and its data type will be mail item, because you know that in Outlook we have different objects. We can send a mail, we can create appointment, right? We are meeting, task. So these are all different objects. So since I want to send a mail, I am writing mail item. Then now when you define it, it is only creating a memory space. It is not assigning any value to that variable. And how do you assign it? By using the set statement. So I'll say set out equals what application. So this is a statement where the Outlook application is physically inserted in that particular variable, stored in that particular variable. When you use the dim statement, it is only defining, no values will be there. But when you use the set statement, it is assigning the value. Then Outmail should be, its value should be mail that is connected with the out app. I'm telling it to create a object whose nature is mail item. OL mail item means Outlook mail item. Now this will create one mail. Now what should come in the mail? That I need to specify here. So I need to write outmail dot to. Okay. So when you write a mail, you give a reference to the reference of mail address in the to, in the CC, in the BCC, right? So that should come here. So here I need to write the mail address for whom I need to send a mail. So in this case, I'll use my mail ID. Now I can write like this, outmail.to, then the email address. Then again to write the subject, I can again write outmail.subject, and here I can write, say, dear sir, whatever I want in the subject, not dear sir, MIS report. Okay. So for every option, I need to write outmail.outmail. Like that. So outmail is going to remain constant. So instead of writing outmail.to, outmail.subject, outmail.body, what I can do is I can use a structure here. That structure is the with structure, with outmail. So the advantage here is that when I use a with statement, I don't have to repeat that outmail again and again. Okay. And whenever you have a with, you should have a end with. Now, instead of writing outmail, what I can directly write is dot to. So I don't have to repeat that outmail word again and again. Okay. Sorry. Likewise, to write the subject, I can directly write to dot subject. Subject will be, say, MIS report. And I need to write a body dot body will be, say, now after I write dear sir, I want the next line that I'm going to write the body. On the next line, right? Whatever I write, please find the attached report. That should be on the next line. So for that, we have a reserved word, a keyword. You need to write VBCRLF. VBCRLF is to pressing enter. Whenever you press enter, automatically a line is inserted. The cursor go to the next line. So if you want to do the same thing in your program, you write VBCRLF. Okay. LF stands for line feed. Okay. That means you are inserting a new line. And then I'll write, please find attached report.
So what is that, sir? VBCRL.
When you write a mail, after you write, dear sir, you are going to write the next statement on the next line.
Yeah.
Right. So I want to force enter. I want to mimic the action of pressing enter. So that is done by this VBCRLF. So whenever the statement, whenever the program finds VBCRLF, it will automatically insert a line.
Okay. We need to open column for that.
Which column?
No, like open column and close column, or please find attached.
Yeah. Quotes, double quotes. Yeah, I need to give that. So VBCRLF, and then I need to say in double quotes, because that is a string. Please find attached report. Okay. Now suppose I want to give, after this I want to give one more line. So again I will write
VBCRLF.
Then again I can and symbol is used to add, merge, concatenate. Here I can say regards whatever. Now see here. Now this can be a very lengthy statement, right? Dear sir. So I have written like this. Now suppose I want to break the statement into multiple lines. Now if I press enter here, it is going to give me an error. So if I want to break it into multiple lines, what you need to do is you give a space and a underscore, then you press enter. Okay. So when you give a space and underscore, that means it is a continuation of the first statement. So if you want to break a very lengthy programming statement into multiple lines, you can use a space and a underscore. And again here I can write and VBCR. Every time you write VBCR, it is going to add a new line. Now this is body. Now we need to send it. But suppose I want to attach some sheet with this, some attachment, then you can write dot attachments dot add, and then you need to specify the path here. So I'll take some dummy file. We need to specify the entire path. This is my enter path. Path may be different. Okay. So here I want, what was that name? Sample. You need to specify the extension also. XLSM. Okay. Now before you send it, suppose you want to preview it, you can also write dot display. Dot display will display the mail in Outlook before you send it. Then dot send to send it. Okay. Now I'll just run it step by step. Just watch on the screen first. F8. Now if you can notice here in my taskbar, you can see the icon of Outlook here. Okay. That means Outlook is open. Then okay, I think it is not finding the file. Path is not correct. For the timing help, I'm going to comment it. I'll run it once again. You can see here, it has automatically created the mail. You can see the subject is MS report and this is the body text. So when you write the statement VBCRLF, automatically after that it will come in the next line. Okay. Then this, and I can click on send here, or I can also use the send from here. Now, if the mail has been sent, it should be in the sent item.
Yeah, I'm getting error in outmail dot runtime error. After the end mail.
Hotmail. After end mail.
After the end mail. So that is okay. This one we need to delete, right? Outmail.to, outmail.subject. Hello.
Which outmail.to?
No, sir. That one you said me to set us to delete it. Outmail instead of outmail every.
That has to be deleted. Yes, that has to be deleted.
Yeah. But
so that we are writing with the.
Yeah.
And one more thing is that your Outlook should be configured. If the Outlook is not configured, it will give you error.
Oh yeah, the mail has sent. It won't ask us to drop, right? It will automatically send if it is.
If you want to view it, you can use the display statement. Else it will automatically send.
Okay, got it. So where this will be useful for me normally, because writing program it's taking me very long time, right?
No, that is because we are running it step-by-step mode, right?
Okay.
I can also access this. I can also assign this macro to a button. So I create a report here, click on the button, will go to that specific person. It will automatically send a mail. So I don't have to open Outlook, write the body text, everything. It will automatically do that for me.
Okay, got it. If it is a constant mail, the same subject, so that we can.
Correct. You can also specify the actual date or time when the mail should be sent.
Okay. So this is for sending. The same can be used for receiving the mail also. Is there any program?
Yeah, I we can write a program for receiving the mail also, but I need to check it out whether it can be done or not.
Okay.
But it is possible. Yeah, it is possible. If you have a send mail, we can also have a receive mail also. Only the object will be different and the statements will be little bit different. You can also put that particular mail that you receive in a specific folder also. So automatically it will go into that folder.
Okay.
Even can be done.
Is that extraction can be done? The mail body, whatever it is coming in the mail, it can be extracted to Excel.
Yeah, even that can be done. Yes. Yeah. Even that can be done. When you have existing mails in your Outlook, it can automatically go into a particular folder, search for that particular and if it is found, extract it and put it in a Word or Excel. Even that can be done.
Is it possible to give any reference for this?
Let me check it out. Okay, I will.
Okay, sir. Okay.
I'll do one thing. I'll check it, and if possible, I will write a program for that, or at least I will give you a link from where you can do it. Okay.
Yes.
Some time. I'll check it and let you know. But it can be done because all the objects can be defined in Outlook, and it can be called in Excel. Even the inboxes or the calendars, these are all objects, so we can do that. That is possible, doable. It is doable, but I just need to check it out.
Like same, like Excel app or Word app, even like if it is a PDF app, okay, we can also take data from PDF and make it in Excel.
Right, it can be done.
Okay, you just share me.
Suppose you are getting a PDF attachment. I will do that. I'll certainly do that. Yeah, I'll do that.
Because I am long time. I also because in my Excel I am not finding the get PDF. Normally, I think in your Excel you have that, right? PDF extract data from PDF. But I don't have that application, that command in my Excel. So that is one. So if
what is the
because
what is the version? What is the version that you are Excel version?
2016, sir. 2016.
2016. Okay, fine. But you are able to open your PDF file?
Open PDF means I didn't understand. I have PDF app, right? I can open PDF file from there.
No. See, you can. No. What I'm asking is, are you able to open your PDF in Word?
No.
No, I think it is possible because in Word 2016 also, suppose I open Word. I'm using Office 365, but in Office 2016 also, you have option, or I will do it the other way. See, let us say, I have a PDF file. Okay, this is a PDF file. I can right click on this and open with. But only thing is that the format will not be same. It will mess up the format. I can open it with a Word file. But in this case, okay, let us see. See, this is actually a PDF file, but it is getting opened in Word. Likewise, you also have the option to open a PDF in a Excel sheet also. You can try that afterwards. But the only thing is that the format, it will mess up the format sometimes.
Okay. Because this will help me in my work also. Because I'm handling many PDF documents. I will comment on the documents. But I'm going to picking some data, especially in the PDF, like some tag numbers. I want it to be taken care in the Excel. So currently I'm doing manually. I'm just picking the tag number and I'm like manually entering the data by seeing the video.
Got it.
So I just want it to happen.
I'll check it. I'll definitely check it out. You just remind me and put it in the group so that I will remember it. Okay.
Thanks.
And I'll definitely make a point to search it out. Fine.
Yeah. And in previous project, I have worked in another software. It's a PCOM based software. So in that software, it is interlinked with the MS Excel, VBA, and one tool. Okay. So on the AutoCAD. So if I give the command, any like some line number, some layers, I just put it up with the AutoCAD, and it is automatically the data, the line number which I am entering in the CAD, it is automatically extracted in the form of Excel.
Okay.
So that is where
that
is when I come to know there is a program called VBA. It is interlinked with Excel and CAD. This is how I come to know. It's 2 years before. Then only I got curiosity to know how it is going to happen. So this is the real.
So I think in AutoCAD, when you do the drawings, even that can be caught in Excel, and you can further process it. Okay.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
That is what they are using some Lisp command, all those things in the AutoCAD, and so finally they are extracting the data from the AutoCAD to the Excel via VBA, via this Visual Basic programming. So that is what there is an admin person. He is doing all those things. That is how I am gone to this VBA. Actually, my domain is totally. I'm working as an oil and gas center. So I just want to systematically in administration point of view also, I just want to grow my professionally also, so that I'm just looking this will be helpful in future by doing the things.
Okay, you're working in ONGC, yeah?
Yeah, not ONGC. It's a different oil and gas sector.
Similar profession.
Yeah, yeah, similar profession. Yeah. This is the data daily coordinating with multiple data and sorting out, filtering it out, something.
And
all those
where
things.
Are you based?
Sir?
Where are you based? You are from Mumbai
Chennai,
or?
I'm from Chennai.
You're from Chennai. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm frequently visiting to Pune. I have one consultant office in Pune. So, in Nagras Road. So there I usually come there, and there only I come to know this Excel4all is mainly originated from Pune, and they also have Mumbai, Pune, and Chennai also the branches.
Yeah, Chennai. Yeah, right. First, earlier we used to conduct classroom training, but after that COVID, majority of the programs are done online. But now in Mumbai, offices are getting opened, and we are conducting some, but to some very, we can say, the frequency is very now, but gradually I think it should pick up.
Yes.
So we are having classroom trainings also now, right? But to stabilize, I think it will take some other 6 months to go back to that pre-COVID era.
Yes. Sir, and your number is also there in the group, sir?
Yeah, it is there. And I'll also share my mail address also. So even in future, if you are getting any doubts, any queries, you can always send me a mail. That will not be a problem.
Yes.
So today we have started with sheet selection statements. Then we did a lookup using macros, all these kinds. Then next week we'll see something called as user forms. Now, if you remember, we had written a program called as data entries. In data entries, we had taken the input from the user, like name, post, department, using the input box. Now, using the input box, you can get only one input at a time. So if I want to get say 15 or 20 inputs from the user, using the input box will be very irritating, right? So instead of that, we can use something called as user forms. User forms can be designed and they can get multiple inputs at the same time. Okay, we'll see how to design a user form. Then
it's like a
there is
database
something called
management.
as add-ins. You can call that.
Okay.
You just design the form, put the inputs, and with the click of the button, it will be automatically stored in the Excel sheet. Okay.
Okay. Which you can
There
retrieve.
is something called as add-ins. You add, save, manipulate it, edit it, again retrieve it also.
Okay.
Retrieve in a form. Even that can be done. Yes.
Okay.
Then we'll see what are add-ins. Then finally we'll do a small assignment also. Okay.
Okay, sir. Sir, next week probably if time has, we'll see again one more time data entries and data consolidation. One more time. Anyhow, I will come up with the last this classes and the last week classes. I will fresh up. So anyhow, further any clarification we'll see in next week.
But I hope all of you are going through the recordings, because
yes.
As to go through the recordings, we will not get that sequence of the next class. Okay.
Yeah, that is what. So it is happening. But today also I have come across the recordings. I have some doubts in data consolidation. Anyhow, next week I will refresh it up. We'll see in data entries and data consolidation.
Sure. Yes, we can do that. So that is it for today.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
So we'll meet next time, next week.
Yeah, sure. Yes.
That on 24th, right? Yeah, 24th.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, sir.
So can you end the session? Yeah. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Vijay. Yeah.